Hello everyone. Wanted to just put together this short video as we get ready to enter session 2 of our class, just to give you a quick overview of how I think class is going so far and try to give you a couple of tips that'll help you as we go through the remaining time together. I think the most important part of the class is the classroom discussion board, so I would continue to encourage everyone to keep up the great work on posting. It's in this area where I've found teachers from around the state are able to really make some connections with other peers, whether it's somebody who teaches the same grade or the same content area. So I really hope you start challenging one another, bouncing ideas off one another, and begin to make those deep connections that'll help you as we go through the class, help you develop some potential friendships that you'll be able to rely on and call upon as you continue in your career. So that's really, again, as I see it, the most important thing that happens in our class. Another thing I just wanted to touch on, I've updated the grade book, and so you may have noticed or will notice how you're progressing through the class. And really the key to successfully complete this course is to complete all the assignments. Generally speaking, those fall into 2 categories each week. There are the 3 discussion posts that need to be made, and then there's 1 activity that needs to be completed. In session 2, the activity is to go on Twitter, post a tweet about an idea that you're excited to try with your class or that you're going to want to learn more about, and then we'll all be able to see it using another app that you're going to learn about called Visible Tweets. Additionally, to successfully complete the class, there are 2 surveys, one that was taken during orientation and then one that's taken in the last week sort of as a final survey. So that needs to be done. And then finally, when I think about completing assignments, in the last week, the final project is a lesson that you're going to create or edit in some fashion that uses tech in a new way or uses tech for the first time. I would encourage you, if you have some time, to look ahead, go into session 6, look at what that final activity is so you can begin to think about that unit, begin to think about how you might adjust it or how you might create it based on some of the things that we're going to discuss and learn as we go through the remaining week. So if you haven't looked ahead, I would encourage you to do that because I think it will make your work a little bit easier as we progress through class. Keeping with that idea, or the idea I should say, about classroom posts, I know I've mentioned this in a post of my own, but I really want to highlight it again. In the orientation session, this rubric on discussion board expectations is available, and I would encourage you to go there and look at it as often as you need to. It's really important that in your discussions with one another, when you're starting a new strand, you really elaborate on an idea, maybe ask your classmates some questions, but when you're responding to someone else's post, it's really important that you are extending the conversation. Just affirming what someone else has written is not going to count towards one of your posts for that week. And we might move on from one week to the next, and you maybe didn't get 3 posts done in the previous week. Don't be afraid to go back, reread what some of your classmates have written after you've reflected on some things, and go back and add to your discussion. I'll be able to track that. But it's really important in the discussion board area that you're extending conversations and not just responding for the sake of responding, if you will. Our Would You Rather results were very interesting from orientation. You can see here on the left side of the screen what we would rather do based on the tally of our votes. No surprise that I shouldn't say it like that, but at least to me it wasn't a surprise that we're more sugar people than salt people. Generally people want to be taller. I was a little surprised that we all wanted to get up early as opposed to being night owls. But you can see on the right side there were 3 areas where we couldn't really come to some kind of consensus. We couldn't decide. We tied if we wanted to be deep sea divers or astronauts, be invisible or fly, or eat bugs or soap. So good job with the would you rather. I enjoyed that, and I think your classmates did as well. So in closing, keep up the good work. This presentation I made using one app that I've stumbled across in the last few years that I really like. It's called Screencast-O-Matic. Very easy to use. You see the website down here at the bottom of the screen. There's a free version and a paid version. The free version allows you to make up to 15-minute videos. When you pay for some of the other features, you have more editing controls and can do some other neat things. But it's very easy to use. I would encourage you to at least look into it because I think as we even think about this week with the content, they talk a little bit about what a flipped classroom looks like, and this would be a great way to dip your toe in that water. So good job again, everyone. Keep up the good work, and as always, let me know if you have any questions. Thanks. We'll see you online.